Hi guys, I've been researching about African Blackwood, the Dalbergia melanoxylon, it's called in Latin, and it's quite phenomenal figures because the market price right now is around 15,000 US dollar per cubic meter, and comparison with here in Sweden, this tree is for the African drylands, even the drylands, it's quite a slow growing tree, so it will take you 70 to 100 years before it's before you can cut it down, saw it, and sell the nice timber. And that is around the time it takes for common pine here in Sweden, Scotch pine, and you don't get 150,000 or what do you call it now, 15,000 US dollar per cubic meter for the timber. For the timber side, you will get maybe, if I get the right number, you will have around around 100 US dollar. So the difference is quite enormous. Instead of 15,000, you will have 100 US dollars. So it's 150 times in difference. Isn't that huge? and of course it's this tree is grown in drylands, and it grows where it's has not too much competition, and yeah, it doesn't grow like so much forest. It's not a forest tree so much because it doesn't like trees in the nearby area, so it's quite difficult though to have a plantation of it. But maybe if you grow a few, or if you find some kind of symbiotic relation between this tree and another tree, maybe it can protect another tree against some disease or some bugs, or that will, yeah, or it will maybe help the soil nutrients. The research about this is not a lot, but so the cost of planting everything, thinning and cutting down the tree here in Sweden, I would say is around $30, and here the price of labor, the price of, here you use big machines, it's a lot of cost in fuel and stuff like that. So, and compare that with semi-arid places in Africa, like Kenya, like Ethiopia, like Sudan, I don't know, where you can grow this tree. The price for labor is very, very small. So, but if we compare it with like the Swedish forest, $30 to plant a tree, to prune it, and to thin it with time, and all of this, and after 100 years the return is like 700 is $100. You get a profit of $70. You have, yeah, or you have what do you call it, you have tripled the money in 100 years. But if you would invest in a tree in someone's plot in a very, very dry area where people are very, very poor, you would have, yeah, say you can do a $30 deal. You talk with this guy, he says, can I plant a tree, do you take care of it, stuff like this. And after 70 years it's my tree and I get a profit. Maybe that's not possible, but just if you get the idea. So for $30 you get $15,000 after 100 years. So this gives you 500 times return. 500 times return. And no one is investing in this tree, so it's quite phenomenal. But if you can have, say, maybe it's not possible in a plantation, or if it is in a plantation, you just have a few of these trees that could correlate, have a symbiotic relation with the other trees. So right now the plantation of this tree is very, very scarce, very, very minimal, and you take the trees that comes to the market are trees, you cut down trees that has been growing for a long time and you don't replace them, so the stockpile of growing trees are getting smaller and smaller. So, and I think musicians that can make a lot of money on his music and can buy instruments for tens of thousands of dollars will still be able to pay a lot of money for this wood. So I think this is something you have to find a solution. How can you invest in this tree? This tree is a tree I want to invest in because the potential is nice and it's a good hedge against other things. But I think it's difficult to own it for 100 years, but you can own it for maybe 20. You know about this exponential return, so 500 times return in 100 years gives you only a doubling per each 11th year. So if you hold, say that you can buy one African Blackwood for, I don't care about the price, but you can buy one Blackwood. You set up this company, you find this company, they sell one tree. You buy this Blackwood, you have it for 20 years. And you're able to sell it to someone else who wants to hold it for some time. The production over those 20 years, the gross, that the piece of cake that you have getting from this 20 years, that I think it should be valued to be able to get the selling price after 100 years. So it's a fifth of the time, or in this case it's 22 years because it's doubling every 11th year. You get, the piece of cake you get is 4 times, it should be 4 times the amount of money that you get, that you got from your selling, from your buying. Or you hold it for 30 years and you get 8 times. Or you hold it for 40 years and you get 16 times. I would approximate that kind of a market. So that kind of a market would be nice, but so it's quite a good number, and it's around 6% or something, I think, 6-7%, 6% in return. So is Swedish forestry very lucrative? Is it making you money? Yeah, you have to compare it to something else. And if the cost is $30 and the return on your investment is $70 after 100 years, you have doubled the money in 100 years. Ay. This is that is not very profitable, is it? So if you compare, where do you want to invest your money? In African Blackwood or Scotch pine in Sweden? Take your pick.